Had a lot of questions about exactly how this cutting grid works thing that I use for cutting my sheet goods. And I've had this, I made this several years ago, but I've had so many inquiries about what it is and how it works. I thought I'd do a little quick thing here and show you what this is. There's no plans for it, but I think once I show you this up close, it'll be self-explanatory. So let me get you in on a closer look. Right now it's folded up. I can easily just store it in the garage. Actually, I store it in the shop underneath the steps that go up to the loft. And it collapses down into about 10 inches wide. And from there, I just unfold it. Just square it up on my sawhorses and lay my sheet goods on it. I'll give you a close-up here of how this is made. Okay, this is really inexpensive to make, although you'll have to drill a lot of holes. All of this is made out of 2x2 furring strips you can buy at your home center, or you could rip down a 2x whatever. But I opted to just buy the cheap furring strips. The long ones are 8 feet long. The short ones here are 4 feet long. That means I took some 8-footers and cut them in half. So what have I got involved here? We've got 4 8-foot long ones and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you're going to have a piece left over. Of the 4-foot ones, you'll have an extra 4-foot piece. If you buy 8-footers or cut them in half. So what are these holes? These are counterboard with looks like about a 7/8 hole. Those are 1/4 bolts going through with a washer on each side. And on the bottom side are counterboard, what they call lock nuts, nylock nuts. That's so that they don't come loose because of the rotating this back and forth. If you don't use a locking type nut, it'll come loose. But that's all there is to it. Not a whole lot of investment there. Just like I said, there's a whole lot of holes to drill. But this folds up and it's put away very nicely. So this is how it works. I've got 4 sheets of plywood on this right now. The bottom sheet is 1/4 inch. The 2 center sheets are 1/8 inch. The top sheet is 1/4 inch with the good side down. And what I will do now is mark this out in the 16-inch squares and just cut it up. What I will do is set the saw blade to just barely pass through the bottom sheet. And yes, it does make a little score mark on the 2x2s, but so what? That's what it's for. And they're very easily replaceable if you happen to make too many of those score marks and wear them out. Just make sure to remember to set your saw shallow when you're making these cuts, or you're going to be cutting up your cutting grid. Okay, if you can see here, I have chalk lines laid out on here. I'm going to cut this into 16-inch squares or for a bunch of laser projects I need to make. And if I needed this to be precise on the outside edges, I'd use my track saw. But since I am going to be using these on the internals, I don't really care what the outside edges look like. I'm going to freehand cut these. I'm very, very good at cutting straight lines with a circular saw without a guide, so I'm not concerned about that. So what I need to do next is go get my saw. And I think we're going to go the battery route here because I don't want to drag a cord outside. So what I've done here is set my saw to just barely cut through that bottom layer. Again, this is a 1/4 inch sheet on the bottom, 2 1/8 inch sheets in between, and a 1/4 inch layer on top. So now all I need to do is cut my grid. And I had one move. Said normally I would use clamps, but kind of in a hurry today. So there's all my blanks cut, and what I'll do now is, of course, I'll separate them according to what size of thickness they are. And I'll stack them all up. I'll put a piece of cardboard on top and a cement block on top of that. It keeps everything flat. Okay, right there are my cut pieces. As I said, I'll take them into the shop. I'll stack them up, piece of cardboard on top, cement block. They'll all stay flat and they'll be perfect for when I need to get lasering, which will be later this month. I have a huge number of orders to get out. So once I get done taking all my pieces off, all I need to do is fold this back up, like so. Try to knock sawdust off of it as much as possible. I'll turn it upside down, get the sawdust knocked off. Right there. And go back under the steps. So that's how this laser grid works. A little chilly out here, but it's not bad. It's in the lower 50s today, which is pretty good for December here in Illinois. Again, there's no plans for this. It's 2x2s, and you put them 16 inches at center each way, drill a bunch of holes, put in a bunch of bolts, nylock nuts, make sure you countersink and counterbore for the nut side and the head side so you don't hit it with your saw blade. Otherwise, this is a great thing. I've used this for quite a few years. It has some score marks on it, of course, because I use it a lot. But this was to answer a question on, you know, where'd you get that grid and how do you make it? And said there's no plans, but hopefully you can see from the video it's pretty simple to make, and it's very, very easy to store as long as you have something placed long enough to put it. You could even hang it on a wall in the wall of your garage. So if you get anything out of this, appreciate getting a thumbs up. Always helps the channel. I'm Roger, just outside the shop. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.